Morning guys, Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training and Creed. Good. Now this is the second day in. Remember what I said, I don't put much pressure, I bond. Good. He's got a basic understanding of obedience. Good. Real rough around the edges, and that's mainly because a lot of the European trainers and stuff, they don't put much control, especially this gentleman does military and police applications. Good. So I picture this dog probably being one of his better dogs. He held him back for him to play with. Couché. No, actually, got to remember it's Dutch. Off. Good. And Dutch is the only command I really haven't worked with much. I do German, I do French, I do English, but Dutch is the one command I haven't really tied in. Becoming a lot more popular now because of, nope, hey, Creed, Creed, Creed. All of a sudden, he just went off and started using his nose. Creed, come here. All right, long line then, okay, good, there you go, good boy. Be right back, guys. Good, this is called training. We're not worried about it too much. I'm doing more bonding with the dog, getting him into quick treat today. So I'm gonna put a long line on him, and he wants to do a lot of biting. His Joachim, being a French military trainer, couché, dang it, off, good. He does know French. They pick up more on body language and voice tone than anything else. He's got to have picked it up somewhat, but the officer wants Dutch, so we're trying to get him into the Dutch. Hey, good. Off, good. But remember, it's picking up on body language, good. And it's gonna be kind of bastardized by the fact that we're English and he's Dutch and we use a lot of English in our words. But the voice tone, the mannerisms are all the same, right? Good. So good, yes, and no will still be my real key words for my markery words. Good. Yep, good boy. And he doesn't know an explosion release, so I have to give him a lot of help. Notice how much help I did with that? Off. Good. Nice and hungry this morning. I've got a bowl of food sitting over there ready for him. We'll get done with this little workout. I'll feed him on the table and I'll just hang out with him. It's about a bond, right? Good. And not wanting to put too much control on him. I want to see how his bite work is and how he winds up in stimulation when he goes into his bite work. I already know the bloodlines, so I'm going to tell you right now, when he winds up, he gets serious. And then he's been built with the old KNVP of a frustration, right? A hard out, which means you're choking the dog off the bite. He doesn't really know a bite out at all. All that control is done later when the dog is older because we want the dog to be free mentally, right? For police work, the dog has to do his own thing and figure things out for himself because a lot of the training is scenario based, right? Good. So they let the dog use their brain and they rely on the dog's intelligence. Nope. Hey. Good, good. But it's time, right? Now it's time to start putting a little bit more control. Good. So all I'm really doing right now at this point is setting up pattern and routine, which means his daily pattern and routine. I went out and I scooped. He saw me in the backyard. I scooped. I said good morning to him, petted him, did my routine. I came back and I pulled him out and I let him walk property. And I'm going to put that post out here too. I already probably have at this point. I just did it a few minutes ago, but the main thing is to get the dog used to pattern and routine of being with me and relying on that pattern and routine so that it helps you with the training because the dog's mental attitude is going to be in the right place. Good. When this happens, right? He's got a little holding pin. I'll be using that. Good. My little holding pin that I use. I'll be putting him in that, getting ready, getting my camera set up, letting him watch that into that anticipation. Remember I was talking about? We'll build. A dopamine will build in his head. Nope. Off. Good. Good. But we want to do things a little different. He's not going to be a civilian dog. He's going to be a police dog, and that's because I'm not really worried about my customer judging me based on he'll sit down, stay, come, and finish, right? I want the dog to be freed up because he's going to be going into nose work and all kinds of other things. And if I put too much on him, he's going to be subservient to me and not to be figuring out the world. He just went away from me a second ago and I see his nose. His nose is working on everything. And that's a natural instinct. It's genetics. This is the Tommy son. This dog has got a lot of good genetics. Bloodlines are up the wazoo with this dog. he's going to do great. He's going to come out, he's about probably 55 pounds now, maybe 45 pounds. He's going to end up being 65, 75 pounds, which is perfect for police work. They can get him into the attics, you know what I mean, to go after the bad guy, underneath buildings, that kind of thing, because the bad guy ain't going to be hiding out in the open. He's going to go try to get in a little crevice hole. The dog's going to maybe have to go in and get him, right? Good. So law enforcement nowadays, large dogs a lot of times are a pain in the butt because now I got to push him up over the fence to go after the bad guy. When they're small like this, I can carry him, I can throw him over the fence, I can do all kinds of things with him that I need to in a practical application in law enforcement, right? Remember, good. His job is to apprehend the bad guys. Basically, a patrol dog is a lot of apprehension, right? Good. Good. So he's going to be going, in a few days, he'll be going to LASD, and they'll be doing a lot of building searches from what I understand. That's what he wants to work on, something that Creed's probably not seen too much of, and make sure that he's secure and good for going into dark buildings and can work on his own, right? So I don't want to stifle that at all. I might do a little bit more obedience when he gets back and really start. Good. Right now, this is more about building bond and pattern of routine that he can start to get high on, right? That dopamine dump. Putting him in his holding pen, doing the same thing in a routine and pattern in our daily flow, all right? And bonding with the dog. That's more important than anything else, huh? Huh, Creed? Huh? Yeah, good boy. Good. Now, some people would be all worried that I'm bonding with him and he's getting attached to me and then he's going to go back to the officer, but dogs are not like you and I. They really could give a hoot. They're survivalists, right? They have to survive. Why do you think they're with man in the first place? It's a lot easier to get a meal from us than it is to go out and hunt and have to survive in that respect. So they're no dummies, right? So their ability to be able to get transferred somewhere else and go to another home and bond with somebody else, and the humanization is normally people will say, oh, doesn't he miss me? Oh my God, you know, that kind of thing. Dogs don't think that way, you know. David Reavers does a lot of importing of the dogs down at All the Horse Police Canine Kennels, who's now run by Michael, his son. But he's told me that he gets dogs in all the time and importing. They don't care. They transfer really easily because that's survival. They need food. They need to be bonded with that new person that's going to give them their food and give them their attention and all that they require in life, right? Nope. Now, I don't want him picking up food off the ground. My fault I dropped it, but I'm not going to be heavy on him because of the fact we're just bonding. I don't have anything I don't want to be. I want to be real loose with everything right now. And because I know he's going to go do a bite work session and be doing that building search, and he'll be winding up. These guys, the genetics on these guys is just amazing. For when they get into fight and they get into stimulation, their whole demeanor changes. And he's been worked in bite work since he's been 5 weeks old, from what I understand. So this boy's going to be something special. Good. Off. Good. And he's a little young. He's about 15, 16 months old. But at the same, and he's showing me he's about 14 or 15 months old. The owner, Joaquin, says he's 16, 17 months old. And but he doesn't act it. He doesn't. He's adolescent. This is perfect. Good. I saw an officer a few years back. I see him every now and then. He's got his dog on the street now, but he got a dog imported. Same thing. He was a little bit younger, and he did the work on the dog to get him out on the street, get him certified. And I looked at him and thought he was a little adolescent too, a little bit immature type attitude. Not really pure puppyish, but just going in between teenage. You know, the teenage getting ready to go to an adult. And now I understand it, because this is the perfect time to get a dog and have him bond with that officer and get the work in that he needs. Good. And that's all I'm doing, guys. I'm just getting him hot dogs. Yep. And I'll start kind of trying to get him into the explosion release, maybe teach him what these bowls are. Just really rudimentary, fundamental luring, so we have something to work with to training, right? Off. Good. Yep. Good boy. Good. Explosion release to the bull. He doesn't know what a bull is at all, right? Nope. Come on. Come on. Good. Good. Come. Yeah, maybe place. He's associating the down over here. So much of it that he already got stuck on that over here. And it just shows you that the dog's is real loose. You know, he's got some rudimentary, this is a green dog, a rudimentary obedience, nothing really stifling that's, you know, it's not like Oscar Moore or me that's got this dog at a very young age doing all these behaviors that they get into sport. A police dog mentally has to be a totally different creature, right? We want a dog that does his own thing and can work on his own and not be so self-reliant and dependent and worried about what the owner wants, right? because he's got to go out and work this stuff out himself. Good. Genetics is a big part of this with the dog's mental attitude. Good. And nope. Hey, nope. Come on. Yeah, good boy. Good boy. I'm already out of hot dogs. Yeah, I've been feeding them almost constantly, huh? It's good. Yeah, good boy. Good. Yep, good. So I'm going to put him away, and then I'm going to go get some more hot dogs, come out, work with him a little bit more, but then I'll feed him. And we'll just hang this morning. We're just going to go over to this little stuff. We'll maybe run him through the agility a little bit. He's even a little weak on the agility, and it's no big deal. I mean, he'll get it. This right now, we're about this stage of building confidence, right? He's already sure of himself, but we don't want to take anything that stunts him down. We want this dog's confidence just growing so that he ends up being a beast on the street, right? We want a dog that's going to cover that officer's back. I mean, he's already told me stories over the years. He's had situations where he's been out there and the dog has had to cover his back. He hit that door pops open and he's got a fight going on, and the dog come up and back him up. And that's what you need. You need a dog that's going to be able to know his job, and he's got all the genetics for it. That's what they've been bred for. This guy's a quasi police dog canine. He's getting ready to go for the big boy, huh? Yeah, good boy. All right, good boy. Good, yeah. All right, let's go back to the kennel. All right, Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training, and Creed the Canine. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.